What's going on, everyone? All right, another week, another flow. Let's go. So for this week, focus pose of the week is eagle pose, Garudasana. One of my favorite poses. It uses so much. You're using backline strength, you're using inner thigh strength, you're using hamstring strength. This is really going to get into a lot of your muscle groups. A lot of things that I see is hips being out of alignment when in this pose, being more hunched versus having your spine in alignment. So this is really great for building good posture as well as building strength in good form. So take what you need in this flow. You know, we're moving a little bit. It's summer. We got some natural heat going on outside. Let's use that heat and get flowing. Get a little bit of nice warmth in our muscles. Whatever you need though, take what you need. Slow it down, speed it up. This is really geared to be a flow that helps you to move and not only move, but move intentionally and keeping your breathing, keeping your mindset, your focus on where you are as you go. As always, I'm here if you have any questions, any comments. I love getting the asks from people about things, so just let me know. I'm here for you all. Have a great flow.
All right, so focus pose of the week, eagle pose, Garudasana. This is great for your inner thighs, your glutes and your hamstrings, and your full 360 core and your pelvis. This is going to strengthen your stabilizer muscles. So to come into this, first we're going to come into chair pose. This will give us an easy transition to eagle pose. Tuck your tailbone here. Keep your knees behind your toes. Bring weight to your left foot as your right leg comes up and over your left leg, crossing your legs, point through your right toes. Now guide your right hip back in line with your left, and then your right arm is going to wrap underneath your left arm. Option to grab for your shoulders, or maybe your palms come to touch, coming into a double bind with your arms and your legs binding. Beautiful. Now breathe here. Keep weight in your standing foot, in the heel of your standing foot. See if you can draw your tailbone down and then keep your shoulders over your hips here. Squeezing into your inner thighs and then keeping your elbows in line with your shoulders. Inhale, come back up, come to standing resting. Maybe takes a little bit of toe stretch or ankle circles. Just take in what you need. Now it's really important to make sure that we're drawing our hips to our lower ribs. So we're helping to keep that tailbone drawing down towards the ground. We don't want our hips to flare out. We want them to curl up into our lower rib points. This will help us to utilize our pelvic area. All right. Let's try it on the other side now. So go ahead and bring your weight to your right foot. Now our left leg is going to get light. Crossing your left leg over your right leg this time, coming into eagle pose on the left. So as you point through your left toes, maybe your toes wrap around your calf. Now right here, draw your left hip back using your hands. I'm using my hands here to be dramatic. Now bring your arms out to a T. Bring your left arm underneath your right, intersecting at the elbows, coming to a double bind with your hands or grabbing your shoulders. Now right here, try to see if you can bring your elbows up in line with your shoulders. This will really help you to feel this stretch in your back line. Beautiful. Lean your hands away from your face. This will really help you to get into your back line. Now, a little prop here. I sometimes like to use a block. This can really help you to utilize your inner thigh muscles. It can also help you to focus on your form versus your balance. So I'm bringing the block to the outside of my right foot and crossing my left leg back over my right leg. Now right here, I've got my toes resting on the block. I used my hands to center my hips, and then I'm bringing my arms back to a double bind. So right here, I'm pressing my toes into the block, using the force of my toes in the block to help me squeeze my inner thighs here, and this helps my stability. So you can use a block, you can do it at whatever height, whatever feels good, just practice. All right, so we are coming to child's pose to start. Balasana. Bring your big toes to touch, knees wide. Go ahead and start to stretch your hands towards the top of your mat as you sink your hips towards the back of your mat. Begin to feel your hips sink towards your heels. Every inhale and exhale you take helps your torso to sink more and more. Begin to activate your heart here, feeling the front line of your body start to open. Breathing in, breathing out. Just letting your spine decompress here. Beautiful. Inhale, come up to tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. On your next inhale, lift your right heel towards the ceiling. You're making a 90-degree angle with your leg. Bend your knee at 90 degrees. Exhale, draw your right leg over in front of your left. You're going to sit back into Gomukhasana, cow face legs on your exhale. So your right leg will be stacked on top of your left. Your feet will be flexed. See if you can draw your knees to stack on top of each other. Option to take fire log legs here instead. Take a round of breath upright and then maybe forward fold while you're in cow face legs, feeling your right glute area, your right outer hip area really open up. Start to leverage yourself forward, coming back to cross-legged tabletop. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, lift your left heel to the sky, bending your left knee in a 90-degree angle. Exhale, cross-legged tabletop. Draw your left knee in front of your right knee and start to sit back onto your glutes, coming to Gomukhasana, left side now. Your left leg is stacked on top of your right, flexing in your feet. Hands can reach for your ankles here. See if you can feel the stretch in your left glute area. Option to stay upright and maybe fold forward for more intense stretch. Keep breathing here. We're helping to get into our inner thighs, starting to activate the squeeze here to help us as we go into the rest of our flow. Inhale, come back to cross-legged tabletop. Exhale, come to neutral tabletop. Take an inhale, start to tuck your toes here. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Send your hips up high to the sky. As you breathe here, press deep into your fingertips. Try to push the floor away like you're trying to send your hips towards the sky even more. Keep a deep bend in your knees and then look towards the tops of your thighs. Then re-straighten your knees. That will really help you to get into your hamstrings, start to open up there. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk your feet behind your hands, coming to ragdoll. Bring your hands to your elbows, bending in your knees. Shake your head yes, shake your head no like I am. This will help to lengthen your cervical spine. Bring your feet to touch a little bit closer, and then inhale, start to rise to stand at attention, Samastiti. Hands by your side or at heart center, just rest. All right. Coming into Sun A now to get a little bit more inner thigh engagement, a little bit more spine alignment. Inhale, bring your arms up to mountain pose, Tadasana. Press down into your feet and then try to pull your feet apart isometrically without moving them. Feel the bottom half of your body ignite here. Tuck your tailbone to engage your back line. Exhale, cross-legged palm tree to the right. Cross your left leg over your right leg as you come up on the balls of your feet. Squeeze the front line of your core. Make it as short as you can. Try to draw your pelvic area up towards your low ribs. Inhale, back to mountain pose, feet on the ground. Exhale, cross-legged palm tree. Cross your right leg over your left leg, coming on the balls of your feet. Press into your big toes to help you balance, sweeping your arms behind you, palms either facing forward or down to the mat. Squeeze your glutes. Come up as high as you can on your heels. Inhale, back to mountain pose. Exhale, back bend. Drift your heart open as you squeeze your shoulders onto your back. Inhale, back up to mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Forward fold. Bring a bend into one knee and then the other. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins or thighs. See if you can stretch the crown of your head forward. Exhale, hands to the mat. High to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Bend your elbows no more than 90 degrees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pull your hands back to feel your chest open here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll over your toes, sending your hips back up high. Beautiful job. We're going to go ahead and flow this breath to movement now. 2 more times. We've got this. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, cross-legged palm tree. Left leg crosses in front of right. Inhale, back to mountain. Exhale, right leg in front of left. Inhale, back to mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Send your hips forward, upper torso leans back. Inhale, back to mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Option for high to low plank chaturanga, or maybe you hold a high plank the entire time. Your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog if you took the high to low plank. Exhale, downward facing dog is where we'll meet. 1 more time now. You've got this. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, cross-legged palm tree, left leg in front of right. Inhale, back to mountain. Exhale, cross-legged right in front of left. Inhale, back to mountain pose. Exhale, back bend, goalpost or cactus your arms. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, high to low plank chaturanga. Always the option to come to your knees as well. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome job. Wait to get your spine and your inner thighs more warm here, preparing as we move on. All right, coming into Sun B now. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Anchor into your heels as you reach your heart towards the ceiling. Fire up your outer hip areas by energetically pulling them in opposite directions. Tuck your tailbone to protect your spine. Exhale, eagle pose, Garudasana. Draw your left leg over your right as your left arm wraps underneath your right arm. Option to grab for your shoulders if you choose. Squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other. Draw your left hip back in line with your right. Both hips are facing forward towards the top of your mat equally. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. Inhale, coming to one-legged mountain before unraveling your arms and sending your left foot back to the back of the mat for crescent lunge with airplane arms. Beautiful job. Your left toes are towards the back of the mat as you're bending into your right knee. Square your torso and hips forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Check in with your ribs. Use your core to draw them in line with your hips if need be. Maybe you bend into your left knee and re-straighten it to help open up in your left hip flexor. Exhale, warrior two. Open up to the side. Virabhadrasana. Keep the lunge in your right knee. Right knee is stacked in line with your right middle toes. Press into your back left foot to help you fire up in your outer hip areas. Take an inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten through your right knee as you stretch your right hand up and back. Hug the left side of your core in to help lift your right side higher to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat, high to low plank chaturanga, your choice of how you take it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Now we come to the left side. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Setting up here. You know where we're going now. On your next exhale, coming into eagle pose, wrap your right leg over your left leg, pointing through your right toes. Your right arm wraps underneath your left arm. Option to grab for your shoulders or take the double bind. Keeping your shoulders stacked over your hips. Energetically pull your tailbone to point down towards the mat. This will help you to keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. Inhale, unravel one-legged mountain. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. Your right toes come to the back of the mat this time. Bending in your left knee, keeping your hinge strong here, like you're trying to stretch your nose forward to smell some flowers. Inhale, regular crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Again, draw your pelvis up. Try to draw your pelvis towards your lower rib points. This will help you to keep everything stacked in your spine. Exhale, warrior two. Open up, keeping your left knee bent. Press deep into your back right foot. See if you can compress down into your feet and then try to pull them towards each other. Feel your leg muscles ignite. Inhale, reverse triangle, Parivrtta Anjaneyasana. Stretch your left hand up and back as you straighten in your left knee. Press down into both feet. Feel the left side of your body lengthen. Exhale, hands to the mat. High to low plank chaturanga, or skip and hold high plank like I am. Inhale, upward facing dog if you took the high to low plank. Exhale, downward facing dog is where we meet. Beautiful work. Breath to movement now. We are going to warm up mega now. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, eagle on the right. Bring your left leg over your right leg. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Bring your left foot back. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten in your right knee. Exhale, hands to the mat. Option 4, one-legged high to low plank chaturanga here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your choice to take it or not. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, eagle on the left. Right leg wraps on top of left leg. Right arm comes underneath left arm. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Right foot comes to the back of your mat. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, stretch your left arm up and back. Exhale, hands to the mat. High to low plank chaturanga, option for one-legged ekapada chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome job. Take some knee bends, take whatever you need. We've got one more round here. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, eagle on the right. Bring your left leg over your right leg. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Bring your left foot back. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten in your right knee. Exhale, hands to the mat. Option 4, one-legged high to low plank chaturanga here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your choice to take it or not. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, eagle on the left. Right leg wraps on top of left leg. Right arm comes underneath left arm. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Right foot comes to the back of your mat. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, stretch your left arm up and back. Exhale, hands to the mat. High to low plank chaturanga, option for one-legged ekapada chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Awesome job. All right, inhale, lift your right leg up high to the sky. Exhale, low lunge. Try to bring your right knee towards your nose before bringing your foot in between your hands. Inhale, come to grounded airplane. Hands to the mat. Bring your left heel up in line with your left hip. Drop your left hip down in line with your right. Option to bring your hands to a block or a water bottle. You're basically doing airplane, but your hands are on the mat or a block. Inhale, standing splits. Really squeeze in your left glute to help lift your left foot higher. Keep your left toes flexed and pointed down towards the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, just a little reset. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, eagle on the left. Draw your left leg over your right leg. Left arm wraps underneath your right arm. Beautiful. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana with eagle arms. You're bringing your left knee up in line with your left hip. Flex through your left toes. Your arms stay the same. Exhale, bring your left foot to the back of your mat for eagle arm crescent lunge. See if you can go slow. Bending in your right knee. It's like crescent lunge, but we're just keeping our eagle arms. Again, bending in that left knee if you need a little bit more stretch for your left hip flexor. Keep your ribs from flaring out. Lower down to your left knee. Take an inhale. Exhale, revolve crescent moon. Bring your elbows, your eagle arms to the outside of your right thigh, not on your right knee. See if you can inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, twist a little bit deeper. On your next exhale, runner's lunge. Hands to the inside of your right foot. Bring your right foot up and out towards the top outside edge of your mat. Option to stay up high on your hands. Maybe you even come to your forearms. Let your head hang here. Don't even hold up your neck. Just let yourself have a few relaxing moments. Beautiful. If you'd like a quad stretch, bend in your left knee and reach your right hand back to grab for the pinky edge of your left hand or your left foot. Keep breathing here, pressing your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. Exhale, release. Come back to low lunge. Coming up high on your hands, tuck your back toes. Inhale, kick your right leg up high to the sky. Exhale, scorpion dog. Option to stay here, keeping your torso squared over the mat. Maybe you let your right foot come down to the ground, coming into wild thing. This is like wheel except one-armed. Use the strength of your feet to keep pressing your hips back up. Inhale. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. All right, all this on the left side now. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, eagle on the right. Bring your right leg over your left as your right arm wraps underneath your left arm. Keep yourself stable here. See if you can sink your hips down just a little bit more. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Keep your eagle arms. Flex in your right toes. Your right knee is in line with your right hip. Maybe even straighten your right leg. Beautiful. On your next exhale, come back to crescent lunge with eagle arms, bending in your left knee. Keep breathing here. Beautiful. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring your right knee down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, revolve crescent moon with eagle arms. Twist your eagle arms to the outside of your left leg this time, keeping away from your left knee. Keep breathing here. Draw your hip points towards your low rib points, tilting your pelvis, twisting from your spine. On your next exhale, runner's lunge. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Your left foot comes up and out. Gently bring your heart down to the earth if you choose and let yourself breathe. Maybe you come onto your forearms. Let your body get static here as you energize in this pose. Feel your left hip opening here. Option to take a quad stretch, reaching your left hand back for the pinky edge of your right foot. Keep breathing here, pushing your foot into your hand, pulling your hand against your foot, feeling your quad open. Draw your right shoulder onto your back to protect your alignment here. Exhale, release. Come back to low lunge. Inhale, sweep your left leg up high. Exhale, scorpion tail. Left heel comes over to the right. Option to stay here, or maybe your left foot comes to the ground in line with your right foot and you reach your left hand up and back for wild dog. Keep breathing here. Send your hips to the sky using the strength of your hamstrings and your hip flexors. Inhale. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Good work. All right, let's get into the spine big time now. Inhale, rock forward to a high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Option to come to your knees first if you choose. We're setting up for Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Press your feet into your mat. Bring your hands next to your lower set of ribs. Try to squeeze your elbows in towards each other. Ignite your back line. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Squeeze your back line. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Elevate your chest towards the sky. Send the crown of your head as forward as you can. One more inhale. Exhale, lower down to your right cheek. Let your hands come by your sides. Maybe you windshield wiper your legs, bending into your knees left and sending your feet to the left and to your right. Beautiful. Bring your hands next to your lower set of ribs again. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Option to lift your feet this time with locust legs. Squeeze your back line, your glutes, everything. Maybe you bring your arms out long into a T for full locust. Beautiful. One more inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Option to take windshield wiper legs here again as well. You're doing so well. Just keep it going. You've got this. Taking what feels right to you. We're going to go ahead and come into tabletop, setting up for frog pose, Mandukasana. I know that sometimes you've seen this in workouts. Maybe you've seen this in the cool downs. You're going to bring your knees out wide, and then you're going to come onto your forearms as you send your knees away from each other. See if you can keep your knees in a right angle, flexing in your feet. Option to bring your forehead to a block or a pillow or even to your water bottle. See if you can keep your hips in line with your legs. What I mean by this is don't try to lean forward. Try to keep your hips in line with your knees as your knees are in these 90-degree angles. If that's too much pressure, you can always let your hips come a little bit forward. Keep breathing here. Feel your thighs start to come down towards the ground. To come out of this, bring your hands under your shoulders and then slowly draw your knees back towards each other, coming into tabletop pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up high to the sky. Exhale, half pigeon, Ekapada Raj Kapotasana. Right knee comes behind your right hand. Look back at your left leg and make sure your left toes, ankle, and leg are in one line. Option to stay upright or maybe come onto your forearms like I am. See if you can let your head hang. Feel your hips saddling into the mat here. If you're starting to roll off of your right hip, roll your right hip down, your right glute down onto the mat. Option to stay, or maybe you come up high on your hands, tuck your back toes, and come down to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up high. Exhale, half pigeon on the left knee behind your left hand. As long as your right leg is in one straight line behind you, right toes, ankle, and leg, option to come down to your forearms once you've set up your stance. Squaring your hips. Feeling them equally sinking down towards the mat. Even if they're lifted, that's okay. Choose what your depth is here. No one can tell you what your limits are besides yourself. You choose. You can stay here longer, or if you want to start to come back up high on your hands and tuck your back toes, coming to downward facing dog if you're ready to move on. All right, tail end I promise. On your next exhale, come down to tabletop. And then go ahead and come to lying on your back. We're setting up for bridge pose. So you're going to bring your feet as close to your glutes as possible. Maybe even start to roll your shoulders onto your back here. On your next inhale, press down into your feet as you lift up in your hip flexors, coming up to bridge pose. Option to bring your hands to a bind underneath you. Maybe you wiggle your shoulders towards each other, interlace your hands. Press your pinkies down towards the mat. Now press into your shoulders and press the back of your head into the mat. Try to bring your chin away from your chest. Press down into your feet. One more inhale. Exhale, release your bind, lower your hips down to the ground, coming into recline bound angle. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet come to touch, your knees are wide. Rest your hands on your pelvic area just to help your low spine release. Beautiful. Use your hands to gently bring your knees towards each other. Again, option for another bridge or take wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana if you choose. If you're going to take wheel, bring your feet as close to your glutes as possible. And then go ahead and bring your hands towards your ears. So your hands will be in the same parallel line as your ears. See if you can draw your scapulas onto your back right here, and then on your next inhale, push into your hands. Maybe you lift all the way up to wheel. Push down in your feet and your hands. Reposition yourself if you need. Now, as you're in wheel, draw your chest forward through your arms, like you're trying to draw it towards the back of your mat. That will help you to take the curve here into your upper thoracic spine where it should be, away from your low back. On your next exhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest as you lower slowly onto your back, coming to fallen bridge. Bring your feet out as wide as your mat and your knees come to touch. Maybe you drop one knee over towards the opposite side and then opposite knee towards opposite side, just trying to stretch into your IT bands here. On your next inhale, bring your knees to reverse tabletop, knees over hips. Bring your left leg over your right leg, coming to a supine eagle twist. Option to reach for the edge for your ankles here for supine cow face legs that we did in the beginning of the flow. Or if you'd like a little bit of a twist here, a deeper twist, you can drop your legs over to the right for supine eagle twist to the right. So your right leg is going to be pinning down your left leg, your left calf. Maybe you stretch your left hand up and over towards 1 o'clock if you're looking at a clock, keeping your shoulders square on your mat, feeling this twist in your thoracic spine. Inhale, unwind, and come back to reverse tabletop. Now we're doing this on the opposite side. Left leg over right leg for supine eagle twist. Option to reach for your ankles again for supine cow face legs. Or maybe you want to twist here and you drop your legs over to the left for supine eagle twist to the left. Your right leg will be pinned by your left knee as your right hand comes out to the side. Like 11 o'clock if you're looking at a clock. Maybe you gaze over your right shoulder, giving yourself one last little organ massage here. Well done, good work. Bringing your knees back to reverse tabletop, unwinding as you go. As you unwind and come back to reverse tabletop, option to take one last pose. Maybe you want to take happy baby, Ananda Balasana, reaching for the outside or inside edges of your feet. Maybe you roll to one side and then the other, keeping your spine, your shoulders, your tailbone all on the mat. Inhale, come up for ball pose, maybe squeezing everything in. Forehead to knees. One more inhale. Exhale, Shavasana, corpse pose, full rest pose. Let everything come to your mat.
Awesome job. Well done. Way to put in the work for yourself today. Just know that whatever you did in your flow, whether you added on, whether you took some off, or maybe you just had a 30 to 40 minute child's pose or Shavasana, know that what you did was just right for you. Your body is going to thank you. No outro Shavasana this week. Instead, lying on your back, we're going to take some centering moments. So finding a thought, an idea, an item or a person, or even a mentality, something that is centering to you, something that a lot of your life revolves around. Put that in your mind, at the focus of your mind as you lay on your back and come into a moment of centering. Finding your center, finding your grounding, finding your rooting before you move on to the rest of your day, whatever that looks like. Just take some moments to come into a time to recenter, reroute into your practice, into your mentality for your day-to-day life, not just how you show up in your fitness life.